Today, we're going to learn about horizontal, vertical, parallel, and perpendicular lines. So you remember that the equation of a line looks like y equals mx plus b, where your slope is equal to m. Well, if you have a horizontal line, let's think about what the slope would be. Well, let's look at a picture. Let's suppose that we have a horizontal line. Well, then it's flat, and our slope is actually 0. So in that case, you're putting a 0 in for m to multiply by x, so your equation might look like y equals 0x plus b. Well, in that case, then you end up with an equation that looks just like y equals b. So horizontal lines have the equation y equals b. With a vertical line, it goes the opposite way, and you have a line that looks like this. And in this case, our slope is actually undefined. So we would say our slope is undefined. And in that case, the equation doesn't look like y equals. In fact, notice here, every point on this line has the exact same x. Lots of different y values, but the exact same x. So the equation of a vertical line is actually x equals some number, like x equals a, x equals maybe 4. Then, when we get to parallel lines, we're still talking about slope. With parallel lines, they have the exact same slope, including 0. Then, another example of parallel lines would be if both slopes are undefined. Then perpendicular lines have what we call opposite reciprocal slopes. Opposite meaning opposite in sign. So by opposite, I mean one has to be positive and one has to be negative. For example, maybe one slope is 2/3, then the other slope would be negative 3/2. Those are opposite reciprocal slopes. So then, another way to have perpendicular lines would be if one slope is 0 and one slope is undefined. Then, this example here says, find a line parallel to negative 4x plus 1 that goes through the point 1, 3. We're going to use the equation y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, where y1 is 3 and x1 is 1, and the slope is what we have to figure out. Well, since they're parallel lines, they have the same slope. So the equation looks like y minus 3 is equal to negative 4 times x minus 1. Realize we could leave the equation like that. But if the question says that we want the result in slope-intercept form, then you have to continue and get y by itself. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And you would distribute the negative 4. So we get y minus 3 equals negative 4x plus 4. And then I'm going to add 3 to each side of the equation, leaving us with y equals negative 4x plus 7. Y equals negative 4x plus 7 would be our answer. And then notice, if we changed parallel to perpendicular, then our new slope, instead of being negative 4, would be positive 1/4. And in that case, all of this work would change, And that would be a really great exercise for you to do on your own, actually.